We're here at Machell Place Stables, sort of the home of Alice Haynes Racing. We've got 42 boxes in this yard, and this is sort of our main yard, which we run alongside Cadland, where most of the 2-year-olds are. So Cadland, we started off, that was sort of start of us. I advertised in the Racing Post because there wasn't any yards about, and Mick Ryan, the late Mick Ryan, rang me and said come and look, and it was a great place. You know, we started with 20 winners the first year and carried on picking up from there, and yeah, it's been a really, really lucky yard for us. I always followed national hunt racing actually, when I was about 14 or 13, and they tried to send me to some god awful place for my work experience, and I actually wrote to Henrietta Knight. These were the days sort of Best Mate was on the television a lot, and it's from paper writing, and she wrote back to me, and I started work experience there, and then went back at sort of Christmas and Easter holidays and started life off there. Well, I rode eventing, show jumping, got up to international level, and then I rode as a bad apprentice and an amateur also. So I was driving to Chelmsford one day, and Tony rang me, and I sort of put my pitch out or sold my pitch, and yeah, they've been with us sort of ever since. Unfortunately, we actually haven't had a winner for them yet, which is quite frustrating for me, probably more so than them, because that's part of keeping a team happy, is to get a couple of the horses have ran really well, and it won't be far in coming, and Tony and Rogues Gallery are a great team of people to work with, even when you go racing and don't have runners for them, and then they're a great team to chat away to, and it just seems a real team, whether it's myself who's training or any of their other trainers. It's a great people to train for. As I said, with the trainers that all work together, we all want results. We all not necessarily work together, but it's sort of a bit of a family, I guess. The horses sort of get fed around 4:30 in the morning and get looked once over, and the board I've done the previous day, and first lot tends to pull out about 6:10. When we're getting on the grass after the rain that we've had, we do pull out that little bit earlier with the workers, just to get a bit of fresh ground, and so we've done first lot and second lot actually on the grass this morning with the rain we've had. Thursday tends to be a little bit more of an easier day on the whole for horses. They just go have an easy canter down the town, and yeah, we tend to do 4 or 5 lots. The lads have just had breakfast now, and then we'll carry on with the morning. Tend to finish around 11:30. Horses have had their lunch. Horses love routine, so they get fed, they go out and exercise, they come back, they have a pick of grass, they have a roll, back to sort of bed effectively, where they have their hay, they have their lunch at lunchtime, and then we come back for evening stables, where the staff sort of brush them over and do their jobs and then set them up for the next day. We have owners' days or syndicates' days where they come to the yard, but I've never done one where they've gone to the race course, and it was great for owners to sort of for them to parade in front of them. It was also very good for the horses. Rogue Destiny, who hasn't actually ran yet, she obviously got a parade walk, and it was really good for her, to go in the paddock. She behaved exceptionally. Sometimes we do that with horses before they run, but I found it was really good. Tony's very invested, and sort of he lives and breathes it, and he gets quite emotional, and I think it's really good to show that side of it as well. We are at the Rolling Mile racecourse for an open morning for Rogues Gallery. I am very much new to training for Rogues Gallery. This is my first year this year as a team. It's the first time we've done something like this. They do come weekly, watch them on the gallops, see them in the yard, but it's the first time we've come for a morning out like this, and I think it's a fantastic incentive to get the team here, see the horses from the different stables. Being in Newmarket, it's quite easy because you can get 3 or 4 different stables in, spread them out in different times, and get all the owners down to see what's happening and get the feedback. You've got 2,000 different horses training on the same gallop each day. You see the horses that are trained from here. I know you've got the likes of Ballydoyle, which train fantastic horses, but you see the likes that have been trained here, Kingman, Frankel, the list is the list is, you've got Enable, you've got so many different horses at all different levels. When you've been at the top level, you've seen Royal Ascot winner, you've seen all of that, and you've sold some horses for nice money, and that really is the creme de la creme. I obviously haven't had a Royal Ascot winner or anything like that yet, I will say yet, but it's the fact that when you've been up here, you've had fantastic days, and then all of a sudden things don't go right. It doesn't matter how much you buy a horse for, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are a world beater. The pedigree, you see some champions that have got no pedigree and they create their own pedigree. Just because you buy a Frankel, for instance, it doesn't mean that they're going to go and be a Group 1. And it's been quite a grounding year, for Rogues, after doing so well. But we're here to work as a team, build up again. I can't wait for my first winner for the guys. So just, because it's a little bit of it's pressure on me as well, because when I keep saying, and they see how the horses are working and it doesn't quite do that at the track or things go wrong. We look forward to having the first winner, and we can just regroup. As it's not just about me as a trainer for Rogues Gallery, you've got all the other trainers, and that's what it's all, bouncing each other and working as a team. Rogues had a fantastic year last year, and I think it's been quite grounding this year. To build or to top that would have been near on impossible, really. No targets. You've just said what horses came, and we've worked together to pick the right races, hopefully moving for the rest of the season. Racing's tough, results are tough, and you're sort of just as good as your last week or your last runners. And it is a roller coaster, highs and lows. Horses are not machines. We can say if we're feeling a bit poorly on the morning, but horses can't. And that's about the staff knowing them. But even then, you don't know if that horse is on his complete A game that day, because they can't speak, and you think that you're going there with an absolute great chance of winning, and they might flop. And it's all about sort of growing and working as a team. They're not machines, and moving on for the next day. So we've got the turf season that runs sort of to the first week in November. It gradually, slowly dies down in how many, you haven't got 4 or 5 meets every day. And the all-weather starts stepping up again. There's no lull. There's no racing. Well, there is actually 1 week at the end of November where there is no flat racing. But it's a matter that there is no end to the season. If a horse doesn't quite hit the track, a 2-year-old, because they've had setbacks or they're a little bit backwards, if you're not wanting to run them on really heavy ground, which it tends to be in October, you can switch them to the all-weather. It's not the be-all, the end-all if they don't hit the track by the end of the season, because it is an all-weather season and carries on growing on. So we're actually just on the town canter today. This is the easy day, an easy canter day. Thursday sort of a refresh day, or if they've ran, they'll come up here, or the day before they run, they'll come up here. And this is just sort of a just over 4 furlong straight flat canter. Go a nice easy steady canter down here. Autumn is slowly coming. It's the first morning. We've had 6 degrees this morning. We don't mind when it's going to be a day like this, but it's not going to be a day days like this every day. And it's just start of the coats are going to start changing of the horse, where they get that little bit colder, or it's more to do with lighting, that the less hours of light in the day, they just start to get the winter coats on the horses, which is something to be aware of. Some horses will gleam and hold it all winter and they won't actually get that, but fillies especially will start to get a bit autumnal. I know it's going to be hot again next week, but keep them rugged up. So these are just nice and spread out. They're just these are what we call a nice easy canter. A lot of these are just 2-year-olds. A few of them have never even seen a racetrack before. This is a nice horse in front. It was second in a maiden by Saxon Warrior. This horse is actually called What a Nation, after the England team when we were diabolical, and he has yet to run yet, but he's a lovely big strong horse, fresh and well. He'll be at the track soon. This is an unraced filly. Probably hit the track in about a month's time. She's set to run on Monday. Got a Rogues horse actually in second here, Penelope Valentine. She worked yesterday, so she's just a nice easy canter today. I've got some more ones just going a little bit slower. The front horse here runs on Monday. He worked yesterday. Clipsham Noble. This filly is Brave by Reflection. She was second first time out. Got a big 2-year-old here. Nice filly. And this is Rogue Destiny, an unraced filly by Wootton Bassett. Lovely filly. The team are just walking home now from their easy canter. What we're looking for, what I've looked for as they've cantered, is how they're moving after their work yesterday or after they ran, fresh and well. Like you could see Water Nation that was cantering down there with his tail up in the air. That shows that he's fresh and well. And as they approach me, you know, we're just seeing that they walk home. They're nice and relaxed. They're not sweaty on a day like this. It's not very warm. I'll ask the riders who tend to know the horses. They seem to ride the same horses each day, what they think of them, and if they're happy. The horses will go home, they'll have some hay, they'll have their lunch a little bit later, and then tonight they'll probably go on the walker or have a pick of grass, or they'll do something tonight, or they'll get a brush. Yeah, it's a nice, easy, relaxed day for them. Okay, Paul, happy? Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Shah?
Yeah, good.
Happy? Yeah. So they'll walk home nicely, get a pick of grass, and happy team. I absolutely love the sales from the horses in training, which effectively are quite easy because you know the form, you know some trainers that you'd like to buy off, or a change of scenery from up north to Newmarket, etc. You know, and sometimes a change is as good as a rest for an older horse. But for the yearlings, I go to every single one of them. You know, I'd send a couple to Tony of lists for him to go and look at, and he would vice versa to me. But that's the way, you know, you work together. Not everyone likes the same horse and everyone sees different things, but I'm a massive fan of the sales, of looking as many as I can, and you never know which one also becomes affordable. This is an eight day a week job effectively, and you have to be absolutely sort of live, breathe and dream. And I'm a person who is never quite happy, always wants more, but you have to pinch myself of what we have here. You know, we built this ourselves, and yeah, we have to be happy. You have to look forward to the future and look to what to go ahead. We set targets, we set goals as amongst the team, and keep reaching them, and dream big.